Hi guys, this is Guille from Cooking from Spain. Today we're making bravas, but not any bravas. We're making the traditional bravas from Madrid with the traditional salsa brava, and that's all. And we're also making the new little twist with the addition of an ajonesa and a little bit of paprika on top just for decoration. Both are amazing. We're gonna learn both sauces. We're gonna learn how to cook the potato properly and how to make them perfect. And that's all. It's extremely easy. Just take a look to this. Basically, we're gonna start with the salsa brava, okay? The salsa brava needs to be very spicy, that's why it's called brava. What we're gonna do first is chop our vegetables, but you do wanna cut everything a little bit even so they all cook at the same time, right? We're basically gonna poach the garlic with the onion until they lose most of the water that they have inside, so leave it around 10 minutes, I would say, more or less. And then we're gonna add the spices. We're gonna add 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, but the spicy one, and 1 teaspoon of the sweet one, okay? If you didn't know, in Spain we use them both. We have 2 different types of peppers that we use to make smoked paprika. One of them are spicy, one of them is sweet. So in this recipe, we want the salsa brava to be brava as f***. I'm also gonna add 1 whole cayenne, beard-eye cayenne. We're gonna slightly toast the paprika, but be very careful because they might burn at some point. They burn really easy, so just low heat and not longer than a few minutes. And then we're gonna add the flour. Same, we're gonna toast the flour a little bit, give it 5 minutes more or less. And then it's time for the broth. Put the broth in, let the whole thing cook for around another 10 minutes. And then we just blend it. We fix the texture if needed. And this is ready. Okay, the next traditional sauce that we see in bravas is alioli, or actually an ajonesa, because alioli would be without the egg, and that's actually a different technique, more complicated, typical from the Mediterranean. We're here only gonna make an ajonesa, basically a mayonnaise, but with garlic. And in my case, I also like to add a little bit of parsley and a little bit of coriander, but this is really personal. Anyway, for the ajonesa, super simple. We're just gonna put all the ingredients into the jar, and we're gonna use an electric blender to emulsify the whole thing. The blender all the way in and start blending without moving it. Then you're gonna see how the bottoms start to emulsify, and you're gonna just have to lightly put it up. You're gonna have to just lightly move it until all the whole thing emulsifies. It's pretty easy. Then you try it, you correct if you need to fix the amount of salt, of lemon or whatever, but with the quantities that I give you in the description, it's pretty decent. Now with the potatoes, actually it depends on whatever part of Spain you're in. You're gonna find different shapes on patatas bravas, but I'm gonna do in this video the classic one. For the potatoes, we're gonna peel it, and now for the shape, I've seen patatas bravas made with squares, I've seen other shapes, but we're gonna do the traditional in this video, which is with your hand. Don't use a board in this case. Take the potato with your hand, and with the other hand and a small knife, you're just gonna cut it like this. So you have uneven pieces, but you do want all of them to be a little bit the same size, okay? I'm also gonna put them in water and clean them properly before frying to get rid of the starch that they may have released while cutting. And that's it. Let's go to the frying station. Now for the frying, the patatas bravas are meant to be fried in 2 times. That's why in restaurants actually they fry it once at low heat, and then they keep it for the service to later. Just give it a quick high heat frying to get them crispy and nice. In this case, I can do this double frying directly because I'm gonna eat them right away. So I'm just gonna start with the frying at 160 degrees, or even 150, and we're gonna give it for like 10 to 15 minutes at low heat so they confit and they get a nice texture on the inside. Then I'm gonna rise the heat and we're gonna give it 5 more minutes so they get golden and beautiful outside. Guys, a little trick between the 2 fryings that we were talking about. If you take them out and move it vigorously, as you see in, you're gonna make them rub to each other, and they're gonna get this super cool effect of the edges being a little bit more rounded and also a little bit more crunchy, like they just break apart a little bit. And well, that's in some places it's pretty traditional to get the bravas like this. as soon as they get out of here, of the fried stuff, let's really put the salt. And with a bowl would have been a little bit more clever. So basically, when you ask for bravas in Madrid, most likely you're gonna get the traditional Madrileño style bravas, only with the salsa brava, which is more than enough, gotta say, because it's completely packed with flavor. And it fits just perfect, the potatoes. Spicy though. But personally, I like better this new style. You can say it's more modern, it's more typical from Barcelona and so, but it's just a new kind of concept. Some places they would say patatas dos salsas because they put two sauces on it. So it is true that maybe some purist from Madrid would get a little bit mad to call these bravas, because this is actually brava sauce with also the alioli, right? Or the ajonesa, whatever, you know. I think language is just something really limited, whatever, you know. But I personally love the mix of the ajonesa with the salsa brava. Perfect, really good. And if I were in Spain with a cañita, I would be even happier.